Hello and welcome back to Football Manager 2020, and hot to the top, it's here once again. This time though, the first group stage game you're going to see of the Europa Conference League. Playing against Sheriff Tiraspol in a game which we should be winning, but you never know with these kind of European fixtures, they can always throw up all sorts of stuff. And we actually have dropped out of form a little bit, so it could be a bit of a tricky one. After that though, we should be beating our old rivals, Lausanne. I'm still not 100% sure you say it. I say it differently every single time, but Lausanne are coming up in today's episode as well. So first things first, it's time to go through what happened since you guys were last here, and it's been eventful, I've got to say. You were last here for the Lokomotiv Moscow wins and the win against Thun as well. Since then, we started off really well, I've got to say. We had a 1-1 draw with Young Boys. Ivan Illich with the goal in the 14th minute there. And actually, we should have won this game. We'll watch their goal because it takes a massive deflection, their goal. They got so lucky scoring it. You'll see here from a 2D replay, the ball is sort of put into the area. Their man has a shot. It takes a massive deflection off Augusto and just is eventually put past Fructal. So we got very unlucky with that particular one. But at this point, I was happy because at this point, I was thinking we need to be hard to beat. That's the whole aim this season. Build a good defence so we're hard to beat. And until that point, we only conceded 1, 2, 3, 4 goals. That was the 5th goal we conceded all season. And you can sort of argue that perhaps we had a bit of a downturn because of that. I mean, we didn't see it at the start, though, because we beat Sham 5-1 in the Swiss Cup with a more first-team lineup, basically. We put a few young players out there, but it was mostly first-team players in that one. So a good result there to make sure we got through into the third round. After that, we played Universitatea Craiova. I think that's how you say it. Just Craiova. It's probably simpler to say. And actually, interestingly enough, this team was one of my top 5 teams to manage on this game. I had a big list and I whittled it down to 5. Eventually chose Grasshoppers, but Craiova were one of those teams that I could have chosen. So let me know if you're interested in that. We could do a future save with Craiova if you're interested, of course. Either way, a 2-0 win in the opening round of Europa Conference League group stage. Yuan and Sarmiento, which I think we're going to rename because I keep getting his name wrong still. I keep saying Saramento. It's not Saramento. It's nothing like Saramento. It's Sarmiento. Someone mentioned it in the comment section last time. It might just be easier to nickname him Sacramento because I can look at that. It's easy to say and it's slightly similar. So that's what we're going to rename him to. So there we go. Sacramento. I might have spelt that wrong. I could have spelt that wrong. I don't know. But Sacramento is this new guy. Is his name now, basically. So him and Yuan got the goals in that one. We followed up with a 1-0 win over Luzon in the league. Yuan with a penalty in that one. And a game where Illich was sent off towards the end. That was where we started to have cracks a little bit. So we should have really done better than that, really, to only score a penalty was a little bit frustrating. And in the game against Lugano after that, we suffered our second league defeat of this season. We lost to Basel earlier on, but our second league defeat of this season as they scored a goal in the 26th minute. And then the time after that, we drew 1-1 with Sion, who scored in the 69th minute after we scored in the 13th minute through Eli Yuan. So we've had a little bit of a dip of form. Hopefully, though, we pick things up today in our 2 fixtures. What it means for the league table is we sit 4th right now. Basel at top on 19th. Young Boys and Lugano 2nd and 3rd on 18, and we are 4th on 17 points. So it's all really, really tight still as we've just got through the first round of fixtures, the first round of 4 fixtures, you know what I mean? We're a quarter of the way through the season right now, and we're in a pretty good position. So I'm happy with where we are. Obviously, this season, it's top 5 that go into European football next season, if you look at the rules. And because, obviously, the league has been boosted up to 14th in European competition rankings, and that's because Basel did so well in the Champions League last season, as I already showed you. So really, we've got Basel to thank for us being boosted up to 14th in competition rankings. But that's quite good, because the whole point of this is to try and build Swiss football up, and if Basel are pulling their weight as well, that helps me out massively. As I was saying, though, 5 teams into Europe next season, 2 actually for the Champions League. I thought it was only 1, 2 for the Champions League, 1 for the Europa League, and 2 for the Europa Conference League. So as long as we're in the top 5, I'm happy. The thing is, if we become the best league in Europe, we'd have 7 places then for European football. That's 70% of the league would have European football. What a league that would be. So I don't think there's anything else that I need to talk to you about that's happened in between episodes. All been relatively okay. Dropped in form a little bit to the point where Sukachev, his form recently has dropped off to 6.6, 6.5. Played well in those 2 games, but a 6.6 before that. If we look at Sacramento and look at his form hasn't been brilliant either. 6.5, 6.7, a 7, a 9. Okay, a 9.2 in there is also quite good, but a 6.6. I'm thinking potentially we could be dropping the wingers if they don't perform well in today's game. Either way, the lineup for this first game against Sheriff is Fructal in goal with a backline of Boone, Augusto, Parola and Matos. Ilic and Palmerio in the middle with Sukachev, Alex Smith, Sacramento and Coley leading the line for us because Yuan has picked up an injury. He's out for another 3 weeks or so don't expect to see him in today's episode. So then kickoff is upon us here today. It's a home game, so hopefully the crowd is going to be huge and everyone's going to be coming out to support Grasshoppers in the European Conference League. Now, we won our group last time, or we won our game last time, which put us top of our group. As it stands right now, I think Genk have played earlier on and they've won their game, but they drew their first game against Sheriff, which was very nice for us. So if we beat Sheriff here today, we'll go 2 points clear at the top of the group. We've still got to play Genk, of course. I still think they will probably win the group. I think they are the best team in it, and they should be winning it. They should beat us, really. But we said that about Moscow, and we absolutely trounced Moscow. Again, it is advantageous to finish top of the group in the Europa Conference League because it means we go straight into that second knockout round. If we come second, we have to go into the first knockout round and play a team that finished third in the group in the Europa League. So they have to drop down. So it's much more advantageous for us to finish top of the group, which is what our aim is going to be. So hopefully a good result today will help us along with that. Hopefully, though, Sheriff aren't going to be too strong. Obviously, they drew with Genk, which means they must be decent. I was just interested in looking at what their stadium looked like. Because obviously, I've got the stadium pack in here. But their stadium name is brilliant. The Sheriff Big Arena. What a stadium name that is. Imagine if we played in like the Grasshopper Big Bounce Stadium or something like that. In fact, if we get a new stadium, I'm tempted to rename it that because that's a decent name. Unfortunately, though, we've not really seen much from us in this first half. We're in the area now with Sukachev. He gets tackled. The ball goes back to Boone, who can put it in the middle. It's headed down, but only as far as Coley. Ilic on the edge of the area. His shot is blocked. It's looking like we're having some decent chances. And actually, I've just seen the stats. 15 shots we've had in this first half. Really, we should have got a goal. Hopefully, we're not going to rue these kind of misses later on in the episode if we end up drawing this. But great ball from Alex Smith into Sukachev. And eventually, it crosses the line. Is 6th of the season for Sukachev. The keeper, I think, helps it along its way, really palms it into the back of the net more than anything else, which is a bit unfortunate as Sukachev plays back to Alex Smith. It was a great ball forward, and Sukachev's shot was, I'm not quite sure what the keeper did. He just seemed to not deal with it properly. Either way, we've profited from that. 1-0 up just before half-time. And could we double it before half-time as well as Sacramento into the area, shoots, it's tipped over the top of the bar by the keeper. We have been dangerous from corners, as we saw last episode against Moscow. Matos putting it into the middle, cleared though, but only as far as Ivan Ilic, who we know can put a decent ball in, but unfortunately loses it. Brilliant. 1-0 up at half-time. We just have to keep this going, and we should be okay to pick up a win here today. Early in the second half, though, Sheriff are coming forward, which I'm not a big fan of, as they look to get past Matos a bit too easily. Augusto heads it out, and Palmerio looking to get rid of it up towards Coley. Decent ball, that one. Can he get it a bit more forward? He does to Sacramento, who's pretty much through. Sacramento shoots, save only as far as Sukachev, who loses it, and the ball is cleared in the end. But that was a nice bit of attacking play from us, a good counter-attack there. Tell you what, it's a bit of a shame. Only 10,000 people have turned up tonight. I thought we'd have a bigger attendance than that. I suppose they're not that interested in third-rate European footballers. Sacramento, that's a fantastic ball up to Sacramento. He still can't put it in the back of a net. He's had a very good game today, actually, I believe. I say that, he's on a 6.1 rating. I feel like he's played well. He's been creating opportunities for himself. Perhaps his opportunities that he's been missing, though, are far too easy, and perhaps he should have put them away. I don't really agree with that 6.1 rating, but I suppose we've only got key highlights, so we've not been watching him the entire game, and this is what I mean. If the ratings come through as quite poor for him and Sukachev, they're not really helping themselves, and we have to maybe think about switching formation to something else. As Coley, his shot nearly dribbles in the back of a net again from another goalkeeper mistake. We're going to make some changes in a moment's time, and I think Sacramento might come off the pitch as Matos puts it into Sukachev, looking for a second of the game. He's hit the post with that attempt. Sukachev has played well on a 7.8 rating. But now, Peter Pusic, who's just come back from injury, is going to replace Sacramento on that right wing. See what he can do out there as an inside forward. Let's see what he can do. Everyone else is still playing relatively well, so I'm not too fussed about making changes or too many changes. We have got a few days off before the game, so hopefully most players should be rested. As Sacramento trying to rescue his game, coming forward again. Really, probably should have passed it. In the end, it goes out to Alex Smith, who gets the goal, but Sacramento won't get the assist for that. He should have crossed it in the first place, I think, really. But I think he's just trying to redeem himself. But that is superb pace from Sacramento in the area. I suppose, well, he was being selfish there, but Smith into the bottom corner. You love to see it. And with 10 minutes to go in today's game, I don't think Sheriff are going to be in it, unfortunately for them. I mean, luckily for us, they're not going to be in it, but another 2-0 win in the Europa Conference League group stages. It keeps us on top of our group and puts us one step closer to qualification, which is beautiful. An extra £163,000 in the bank for that one as well. Thank you very much. And as you can see, we are already 5 points clear of Kryver in third place. So we're in a very, very good position. As long as we don't lose to Genk, I think we could probably stay top of the group, but it's much easier said than done. So next up, actually not much time in between games at all. I thought we had a bit more time than that, but Lausanne are 10th in the table, so hopefully we will beat them comfortably. Hopefully. I mean, routinely, we should be beating them. It does show how far we've come, though, to be fair, because in our first season, we lost to them 3 times, didn't we? Drew them once, but still managed to get promoted ahead of them. This time around, though, we played them on the opening day of the season and beat them 4-0, which was fantastic. If we can do the same again here, it just shows how far we've come already in such a short space of time. So then, what do we do with this line? We need to make a couple changes out there because a few players are looking a bit tired after the game we had against Sheriff. Matos being the first one, he's going to come off for Biancone to play at right back. Sukichev also looking pretty tired, so we'll bring Pusic on that left-hand side as well. Leave Sacramento on for now. Alex Smith looking tired, so Schneider can come on. Bajrami on for Palmerio in that midfield. Ilic also tired, so Hosu can come on as well. So a couple big changes there. I tell you what, we'll give a game to Bozanovic as well. He can come on for Parola in that ball-playing defender role. Other than that, though, I am happy with the lineup and how fit everyone looks on there. So that's the lineup for today's game against Lausanne, or Lausanne. Again, I'm saying it wrong still. I don't understand how I'm honestly still saying it wrong. Like I just don't get how I can't get it right. It just doesn't look like Lausanne, does it? At all. Doesn't look like it. And today's game could be a bit of a low point for us because already we've not had a single highlight. 25 minutes into the game, only 3 shots as well. I'm expecting better than this, all right? I'm expecting us to be out there scoring some goals. They play a really weird formation as well. A very strange formation. It's like a weird plush. It's like a window, isn't it? Like you've got the sides of the window. It's half time already. Jeez, that went very quick. No highlights. As I was saying, it's like a window. You've got like the middle bit of the window, the bit that goes across, and then like the outside bit. Ignore me. We need to get some goals though. Show some passion out there, lads. Seriously, let's go very attacking as well. If they pick up 12 shots we've had now, but none of them good enough for a highlight apparently. If they get a draw against us, that's massive for them. But we have to be beating them. And the thing I'm worried about is last season we had a great start to it and then we slumped towards the end and got very lucky right at the very end that other teams slumped as well. Are we literally about to go through a whole game without a highlight? Is this about to happen? There's 10 minutes to go. We need to make some changes out there. Let's bring Smith on for Schneider, who's not played well. Let's bring... I don't know, who do we bring on? Who can change the game for us? Ilic, get yourself on there for Bajrami. What on earth is this about? Oh, finally, a highlight. 8 minutes to go, and it's just collected by the goalkeeper. If that's the whole highlight, I'll be so really cross. Nearly swore then. I realised it's meant to be a family-friendly channel, and I shouldn't be doing that because otherwise you get massive demonetisation. Not demonetisation, but the system picks it up. And so at that point, as Coley does finally get a goal, thankfully, he's got a goal, 5th of the season as well. But if you swear, and YouTube sort of the algorithm picks it up and it takes your ad revenue down. So I've got to stay away from that. Either way, Sacramento still doing his usual selfish stuff by trying to take the shot on himself. And luckily it rebounds out. He could have had so many assists this season, Sacramento. He could have had 2 in today's episode if he just looked up and passed and tried to pass it rather than take it on himself. But we finally have got a goal against Lausanne. Looks like we're going to be winning at 1-0 and looking like we're going to go 3rd in the table in the process. Looks like Lugano must have lost. But here come Lausanne, who nearly scored right at the end of the game. 4 minutes valid time for them to grab one back. But as the clock ticks down, I don't think it's going to happen. We've got through this 1-1-0. Very boring, very quick, not much going on, but at least we've done it. So we seem to be in quite good form in Europe. But when it comes to domestic leagues, we are dropping off a little bit because that we should have dominated that game. We should have scored plenty more goals. It's a little bit of worry that we haven't. Thankfully, though, it's not just us that have drawn to Sion this season and embarrassed ourselves. Basel have also had a 2-2 draw with Sion, so that's quite good. We now go level on points with them, and we are still a point behind Young Boys. Now, next episode, we might do a little bit differently because I don't want to do this Genk game because that's very, very soon. I want to get through a few more fixtures. So we'll do the second Genk game because we need to play them definitely because they are one of the best teams in our group. However, we've already played Toon. We've already played St. Gallen this season. So I feel like doing any of those games would be a bit boring. So I'm going to propose that we do the Genk game. I'll play St. Gallen and Young Boys off camera and then we'll come back for the Criever game. And hopefully by the Criever game, we might have enough points to actually qualify through our group at that stage. And if that's the case, that's beautiful. So I will see you next time for some very big European games where we could see ourselves into the knockout stages of the Europa Conference League, which is mind-blowing really when you think about it. Either way, thank you very much for watching today's episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. And if you have done, please do drop a like on the video for me. I would really, really appreciate that. And I will see you next time for some more Hop to the Top. Have a very nice evening. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.